When you change your environment, you broaden your mind. Embrace the unforeseen and learn that there's a world larger than that which you've previously known.
Oh, that's not the right one.
Hello guys. So
no, that's wrong.
Today the main purpose of this video is to show you guys
that's wrong. Stop it.
Experiences are always available for those willing to jump into the unknown and see just how far you can draw things.
All right, here we go. Thank you, everyone. Welcome back to the JSP Live episode 7 with University of Bedfordshire. Today, we're very honored to have Mr. Liam, International Marketing Manager for University of Bedfordshire with us today to share a lot of updates and a lot of good news for us. And in the meantime, if you have any questions for Liam and University of Bedfordshire, please put your question in the comments and we will answer you during the session. Over to you, Liam. Hello.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Annie. Hello, everyone. So my name is Liam Stott. I'm the International Marketing Manager at the University of Bedfordshire. I'm based today, as you can see behind me, at our international office at the Luton campus here in the UK. And today I'm going to be sharing with you all the latest updates and information regarding the University of Bedfordshire so that you can help and support your students who may be interested in making an application to the university. So I'm just going to share my screen with you. And this is my PowerPoint presentation. And then we'll be able to begin the presentation today. Let me just do this now. Just give me a second. Okay, right. So you should now be able to see my screen. There we go. I'm just going to make it full screen, and then we'll get started. Okay. Okay.
Yep, we're at full screen now.
Full screen, excellent. Thank you, Annie. Right, so welcome everyone to the University of Bedfordshire. On this first slide, you see two lovely images of our main campuses in the UK. On the left-hand side, you see an image of University Square, Luton. And on the right-hand side, you see an image of our Gateway building at the Bedford campus. The University of Bedfordshire began officially in 2006. Making us just 15 years old. So we are a young university, we're modern, we're innovative, and we offer a range of career-enhancing programs that I will introduce to you a bit later in this presentation. Again, please feel free to ask us any questions or comments, and we'll be happy to answer them today. The population of the university is roughly 20,000 students across all of our campuses. Roughly 25% of that said population are overseas students, so roughly just under 3,000 students right now are all international. And then we also have a representation from over 120 countries worldwide. So we attract students from a range of countries, such as China, India, Nigeria, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Vietnam, all key markets for the university. But we are looking to attract, more students from other countries, so such as the Philippines as well, and other markets across Southeast Asia, Malaysia, Thailand, and countries like that. So that's a brief intro to the university. And then I'll just talk to you now about reasons why students could look at the university as a destination of choice, as there are, about 130 in the country today. So Bedfordshire, in terms of our location first, so our main campus in Luton is roughly 22 minutes away from central London by train. So we've got a great location right near to the capital city. When students get off in Luton train station, it's about a 10-minute walk to the campus in the town centre, and they will go past the Luton shopping mall, offering plenty of places to shop and to eat. And again, Luton itself has got a range of sort of facilities for students, restaurants, places to socialise, and that sort of thing. And it's also a very multicultural and diverse community in Luton, which also kind of represents the population of students at the Luton campus as well. And then the Bedford campus is a bit further north. It's about 35 minutes away from central London on the fast train. And then students would get the free bus that takes them to Bedford campus from the station. It's about, again, a 15-minute walk. Bedford campus is a bit smaller than Luton because there's not as many courses there. But again, I'll go through those later. But again, it's got a very homely feel to it. Everyone knows each other. It's a very good community of students there based in Bedford campus. Both campuses also offer on-campus accommodation, all en suite, so that's also very convenient for our students. So the location of our main campuses is really convenient, and we have other campuses in Milton Keynes and Aylesbury as well. Secondly, students may look at Bedfordshire because they might be conscious of what they can actually afford, in terms of their, the tuition fees and the maintenance and so on. So we offer a very competitive tuition fee structure, and the living costs is obviously cheaper than living in London. The undergraduate and foundation year fees from this intake in September, £12,900 per year. So that's if they're starting with us now, or they're starting in our January intake. They'll be paying £12,900, whether that's for the first year on the undergraduate degree or a top-up. Undergraduate, we offer quite a few top-ups as well. It's £12,900. And then master's fees or postgraduate fees starting from £13,275. That's for a standard 1-year MA or MSc course. And then we also offer our 2-year masters, either with project management or data analytics. and that's £15,600. And then we offer a different fee structure for the MBA. The general course is £14,500 for this year. And then the 2-year course with data analytics is £16,325. We also offer a range of flavours and pathways with the MBA that I'll come on to later. But that's our tuition fee structure for international students. And again, the living cost is very affordable. You know, the accommodation in Luton and Bedford, starting prices from £110 to £119 a week. And then obviously the prices do go up if those students want larger rooms and so on. But very safe, very secure, ensuite. There's no hidden charges with our accommodation. And we also guarantee accommodation to all international students as well. Not many universities in the UK will say that, but we do guarantee accommodation. So that's also a good thing for the students. And then the other...
Sorry, Liam.
Yes, Annie.
Regarding the accommodation, I have a question to ask. So with the accommodation, when do we start to book? When we have accepted the offer from Bedfordshire, or we do it at the same time of application?
It's probably best to book your accommodation once we've issued your CAS. I mean, there is a security deposit to pay to secure your room on campus. And they can use our accommodation if they need to quarantine when they get here. So we can accommodate those students, but it's best if they book their room the day we issue them the CAS. Because until we've issued the CAS to the students, you know, nothing is ever guaranteed. You know, with for students from Vietnam and for the Philippines, we have to interview the students once they've paid us the 65% deposit. We have to check their financial documents. We've got to check their TB test results. So nothing is ever guaranteed until we've issued the CAS to the students. So once we've done that, then we're very happy for them to book their accommodation. But for our credibility interviews, which we do for all those students, they must be able to tell us where they will live during their studies. So when they've actually made an application to Bedfordshire, and if we have given them an initial offer onto the course, then they should be researching at that time where they will live. Is it going to be on campus, or is it going to be in private accommodation local to the university? So they need to have a good idea where they will live, but it's best if they do not book and pay their deposit for the room until we've issued them the CAS. Does that help?
Yes, that's a very clear answer. Thank you.
You're very welcome, no problem. Okay, on to the next reasons why students could consider Bedfordshire is because of our teaching excellence. Many of our academic staff have won National Teaching Fellowship Awards, which also indicates that they are experts in their field of study. And we also offer scholarships as well to new international undergraduate and postgraduate students, and also foundation year students as well. The scholarship is up to £1,500 per student. So how it works is, just to break it down for you, the £1,000 is our Vice Chancellor's scholarship, which is guaranteed to all students. And then if they do pay their full tuition fees up front as their deposits, or by the time they get to registration, then we also issue them an early bird discount worth £500. So in total, if you add it up, it is up to £1,500 scholarship. Okay, we issue them the £1,000 scholarship once they've paid us the 65% deposit, and once they register as a student, we take off £1,000 off their remaining fees that they pay once they get here as a registered student. And then we issue them the further discount if they pay the full fees up front. So that's how that process works. All right. If you have any further questions about that for me to explain further, please ask in the session and I will explain that to you again, because sometimes it can be a bit confusing. Okay. And furthermore, actually, just to let you know, if you do have students that you do send to us and they progress to another course, so from an undergraduate to a postgraduate course, levels, they can also receive a £500 alumni discount. So for alumni students, it's actually worth up to £2,000 altogether. But if they're coming here as a new student to Bedfordshire, then it's worth up to £1,500 scholarship. Okay, and that's for all students, whether they're from Vietnam, whether they're from the Philippines or any other international country. It is up to £1,500. The other reason why they could look at Bedfordshire is for our multiple intakes. So we offer a very flexible recruitment model for the majority of our programs. So we offer 2 intakes a year for our undergraduate courses, so September and January. And then what's very unique about the university is that we offer 6 intakes for our postgraduate courses in business and computing and engineering. So we have September, November, January, March, June, and July. So if students are interested in joining us, then they haven't got to wait for a whole year. If they missed the September intake, they can start in November, or they can start in January or whatever. It's a very flexible model for our international students. But for these intakes, we do have very specific deadlines that I have shared with global study partners, and they'll be able to share those with you as well. We do have very specific deadlines that our admissions team do work towards, so we must make sure that we do meet these deadlines for applications from Vietnam and from the Philippines and other countries as well. Okay, I just want to talk to you a little bit about our success in the National Student Survey over the last couple of years or so, just to let you know about that, and also our position in the Times Higher Education Young University rankings. So we're currently in the top 300 in the world. We've also got some good results in the last couple of years in the NSS. So 2019, we were rated 80% student satisfaction. Top 20 most improved learning resources. We were in the top 10 for teaching, and also a very good position in academic support as well. So that's something else to think about when you are talking to students. We do support them very well. We do have small classes for our programs so the tutors can make those real personalized relationships with our students. So we do a good job on that front. And then in case students are looking at the league tables in the UK, in case they are, and sometimes they do this, just to let you know about the Guardian University Guide 2021. We have got some good positions actually for specific subject areas which they may be interested in studying with us. So we are in the top 35 in the UK for fashion and textiles, top 30 for social work and administration, number 26 for journalism, publishing and public relations, top 50 hospitality, event management and tourism. We're 19 in the UK for social work, 42 for law, 34 for forensic science, and top 45 for nursing. So in case they are looking at that league table, then we have got some good positions there for those particular subjects.
Well, these are really good positions to have for each major that student can choose. I have one question for you, is that what are the popular courses that Vietnamese or Filipino students choose to study at Bedfordshire?
Yeah, good question. So we do have a cohort of Vietnamese students who progress with us from a key partner who we've been working with now for a number of years. And they come every year to do our business studies level 6 entry. So that's our final year on our business studies bachelor degree, because they're doing business studies in Vietnam, and then they come here to do a top up in business studies. So that's quite successful for the university at our Luton campus. And then we also offer a top-up program, which some do come to us in January as well. In fact, from Vietnam, because of the pandemic, we are expecting more Vietnamese to join us next year, because we understand right now Vietnam has been in lockdowns for the last few weeks, and of course last year there was quite a drop in Vietnamese students coming to the UK in general because of the pandemic. But every year, we do have quite a few students coming to us for top up. So that's good. We've also had a few students come to Bedfordshire to do our postgraduate business courses. So, for example, MBA or MSc Marketing or MSc International Business. We do hope to relaunch our placement courses next year once the pandemic sort of settles down. And we can hopefully do that. At the moment, we have put our placement courses on hold. But we can let you know once we hopefully can relaunch those placement programs, maybe in the next few months or so. But they've also been quite popular for our Vietnamese students. From the Philippines, again, the key subjects for those students are kind of healthcare and business. Again, it's mostly postgraduate business courses that they come to do. But we are looking at developing our nursing programs for Philippine students as well, offering them a foundation, but that's currently in the works. Nothing's official yet, but I can let you know if we can offer them a foundation before they come to do our adult nursing bachelor's degree. So I'll keep you posted on that one.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Not a problem. Okay, on to the next slide. This is about our research standards. So this relates to the Research Excellence Framework that took place. Well, the last one was in 2014. The next one is coming out this year, and we're just waiting for the results of this year's REF results. But basically, you see these key departments or schools, and we've still got 4-star rating for these departments. So that means nearly half of our research today is internationally excellent or world leading. So we've got healthcare, computing, business, social work, education, sports science, leisure and tourism, English, performing arts, and media. So all those programs have been rated with a 4-star rating for world leading research. And then we also offer a personalised support service for our international students. So we've got our main hub at the Luton campus. But we've also got the SID desk that operates both in Luton and Bedford, and they support students with all sorts of queries and questions regarding their timetable, registration inquiries and that sort of thing, or if they need to open up a bank account or they need a bank letter, the SID desk can print them off for them. So there's all sorts of support available, but we can help them out with whether it's issues regarding their visa or their course, or they want to change course, or any other advice like that. We can offer them a confidential support service. So, we do give them plenty of support. And even when they get here, like orientation programs, induction programs, we're here to support the students once they get here. Just going to touch briefly on some of our most recent developments in our facilities. So at the Luton campus, we opened up our new STEM building in September 2019. It cost the university roughly £40 million, so it's quite an investment for our Luton campus. It's got a 6,000 metres squared of teaching and lab space, and as a result of the STEM building, we've actually developed some new programs, particularly in pharmacology, automotive and mechanical engineering. So, any of our students studying our science, computing or engineering courses, either undergraduate or postgraduate, will be using the state-of-the-art facilities in the STEM building. And then we've also got the library in Luton, and opened up 5 years ago. But just thought I'd mention that as well on here. It's currently open 24/7. It's got various facilities inside. You've got a study hub on the first floor where they can access support from our academic staff or support staff, so they can help them with the research at the library, how to use the library, how to make best use of all the resources available. There's hundreds of study spaces. They can loan laptops if they want to. There's lockers on the ground floor when they go in, and there's a cafe as well. So lots of different things they can do. There's even presentation rooms where they can rehearse their presentations for their courses. There's group study spaces as well. They can work quietly, or silent rooms. So yeah, there's lots of facilities available there. At Bedford campus, in case they're based in Bedford, there's also a library there as well, offering 24/7 opening hours. The Beds SU is also here, so they're here to offer them plenty of societies they can join, their sports clubs they can join, particularly the Bedford campus. They can even set up their own society as well. So they're here to entertain and support the students too. And now, yes, any questions, Annie? Sorry.
Yeah, I just have a quick question on the clubs. So just out of curiosity, which club has the most international student join, and is there any club that is very unique?
We have offered in the past some sort of international societies. So, for example, societies for Nigerian students. So we have offered some international societies. But students can set up their own society as well. So international students are invited to do that by the Beds SU. So from memory, that's the best one I think I can talk about really. But we are open. We do try and encourage our international students to set up their own societies, which they can do. And at our freshers fairs, the SU are there promoting their services to our new students. So we do actively encourage our international students to set up their own societies.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Okay, I'm just going to briefly introduce our 4 faculties and some of our key courses as well. So the business school, about 140 full-time staff, 60 visiting professors, scholars, practitioners and fellows. There's around 7,000 students studying in the business school at the moment. Majority are undergraduate students, over 3,000, and the rest are postgraduate students, either doing taught masters or research masters. What's quite unique, we do have our business pods for our undergraduate programs in business studies. We offer business studies, international business studies, marketing, business studies by itself, and we also offer business management as well. And that's at our Bedford campus, but the majority of our programs are in Luton. And then we also have the moot court at the Luton campus for our LLB in law. And the master's students to the LLM can also make use of the moot court as well. And then we also do law with psychology, with criminology, or with financial management. And from this academic year, we're now offering law for September and January intake. That's a recent update. So if you have students interested in our LLB, they could join us in January. So that's something else. That's quite a recent development of that program. And then for our accounting and finance students, we have the Reuters finance stream. So that simulates, what it's like to work in the accounting and economic sector. We've got business economics, accounting and finance, accounting. We've got the AIA, the ACCA professional status as well. And then the other programs in the school, undergraduate, we have marketing, we have event management, tourism and hospitality management as well. And those sorts of things. So, a real good breadth of programs available. Obviously, the Luton Library is a great resource for our business school and other programs at the university. And then we also offer the Postgraduate Centre, which opened up in 2013. I think it costs the university around £20 million, and it's used for our postgraduate students. So it encourages them to work in teams on their practical assignments as well. But across the postgraduate programs, again, we've got the 6 intakes. We do accounting and business finance. We do MSc in marketing. MSc in events management. We do international business, either by itself as a 1-year program or with data analytics as a 2-year course. The MBA is done by itself on a 1-year basis, or MBA with data analytics, or we can do various pathways of the MBAs: MBA marketing, MBA finance, MBA hospitality and health services management, MBA supply chain management, We also do an MSc in purchasing, logistics, and supply chain management as well. As a separate program, we do sustainable management, international tourism and planning management as well, international relations management. So yeah, there's lots and lots available. A real wide, diverse range of programs available to our international students in the business school. And to be fair with you, we do attract lots of international students that come to the business school to study. So they are very, very popular programs with our international students currently. The second faculty is the Faculty of Creative Arts, Technologies and Science. We have 6 schools that feature in this faculty. School of Art and Design, Computer Science and Technology, Culture and Communications, Life Sciences, Media Performance and Psychology. Art and Design, a range of undergraduate and postgraduate degrees. So for example, graphic design, animation, interior design, interior architecture and art and design. Then we do an MA in art and design as well. Or they can do art and design with data analytics or with project management. So even do a 2-year course as well. But yeah, so again, they've got their own identity about those programs. They've got an exclusive building called Alexon House, which is just for our art and design courses and very close to Luton train station. So it's separate from the main campus, but it's got its own identity. It's only for art and design students. So again, that's offering it's a very unique kind of setup. Okay. Computer science and technology, of course, the STEM building is available for all our undergraduate and postgraduate degrees in the school. So we've got AI and robotics, for example, computer science, computer networking, software engineering. We've got lots of programs like that. So yeah, we're also offering automotive and mechanical engineering, the more recent programs in that school, which is attracting a lot of attention from our students. And then we've got, again, postgraduate programs. We've got 6 intakes. And again, computer science with project management is very popular with our students, computer networking as well. And we do a software engineering and applications MSc as well. So we've got a good breadth of programs there in our in the computer science school. Culture and communications is mostly around journalism, creative writing, both undergraduate and postgraduates. We've got an international journalism course as well. They can do it either 1 year or 2 year with data analytics if they want to develop their knowledge of international journalism, on a wider scale. Life sciences, again, we've got the STEM building for the life science courses. Pharmacology, quite popular. We've also got biomedical science, biological sciences, food and nutrition science, pharmacology and health science, for example. So all those sorts of programs. And then we've got our MSc programs as well in pharmacology, all those sorts of programs. Media and performance, mostly sort of film production, TV production, media production, those sorts of programs, or all those practical facilities at the Luton campus. Again, both undergraduate and postgraduate. We've got a postgraduate degree in creative film production. And then we also have our Bedford campus as well. So we have our dance and performing arts programs, English, literature, and so on, all based at the Bedford campus with our working theatre, which they can use for their programs. And then the other one is psychology. Again, in Luton, a professional accreditation for these programs. We've got our undergraduate and postgraduate degrees in psychology, criminal psychology, health psychology. We've got our top-up program as well in psychology and criminal behaviour. And then we've also got our conversion masters. So they haven't got a psychology background, they can apply for our applied psychology conversion course. And then we also offer forensic psychology as well. So there's some good programs there, and they've all got the British Psychological Society professional status. And then moving on from the Luton campus to the Bedford campus. So this is where we have our Faculty of Education Sport, which are based there. So we've got 3 schools: teacher education, offering our teacher education programs, both undergraduate and postgraduate. So postgraduate, that will all be our secondary education courses or even primary education, so that when they graduate they become qualified teachers. Education in English language, courses like education studies, English language programs, sports science and physical activity, offering our research programs in sports science, physical activity, analysing human performance and the benefits of exercise. And they will be making use of our state-of-the-art sports labs at the Bedford campus as well. And we've got all of our sports fields at the Bedford campus. We've got outdoor basketball courts, AstroTurf pitches, and we've got the Aspire gym as well, offering support for our strength and conditioning students doing that BSc program. So yeah, lots of facilities available at our Bedford campus for sport and teaching and education. And this is what the campus has been known for many, many years, even before it became our campus in 2006. Historically, over the last 100 years, it's got a lot of heritage around physical education and teaching as well. And the 4th faculty, just to introduce you to, is our Health and Social Sciences faculty. We have 3 schools. The School of Society, Community and Health is basically our school for social work, BSc or the MSc program. And they have to apply on UCAS for that course. Also, going back to teaching as well, if you have students who want to become trained teachers in the UK, they can apply. But they have to apply by UCAS as well. And it's probably best if you have any students who want to apply to Bedfordshire for any of our teaching programs, please let me know by email, and I can ask our Bedford admissions team or our PGCE admissions team to respond back to you before they make an application, just to double check the background, and so we can confirm those entry requirements with those students. So yeah, back to HSS, Health and Social Sciences. The second school is Nursing and Health Education. And for our international students, they can apply for BSc and our MSc in Adult Nursing. Now, this is probably more relevant for the Philippines markets, more so than Vietnam, simply because of the interest in the countries. But I do know there's a big interest in healthcare in the Philippines. Students have to do a foundation year, the same in Vietnam, before they come to direct entry once they finish their senior, secondary or their year 12 qualifications. So they have to do a foundation. At the moment, we don't offer a foundation yet for our healthcare students. So they have to do maybe a foundation with another provider, and then they can apply to Bedfordshire to start year 1 of our adult nursing BSc or the MSc in adult nursing, and they have to apply on UCAS as well for those programs. Okay, again, if you have students who want to apply to us and they've got some interest, you could always email me with their qualifications, and I can double check if they actually will meet those qualifications. They will be interviewed as well by the faculty. They will be interviewed by the international office as well to make sure that they are genuine and they will be successful with us at the university. And for these courses as well, they do need a higher IELTS. Typically, we do ask for 6 with a 5.5 in any band for the academic IELTS. And we can also now accept the language cert, which is an online English test, and other tests as well, such as Pearson PTE and the TOEFL IBT course as well. So we can offer some exemptions, but for nursing, social work, teaching courses, the IELTS is compulsory. We can't accept anything else. It must be the academic IELTS test at a B2, 6.5 in 2 bands and a 6 in 2 other bands. So yeah, we are looking for slightly higher requirements there for these courses. And the other school is applied social sciences, so sociology, criminology, policing, and criminal investigation, and these sorts of programs in that school. And that is the end of my presentation today. Thank you very much indeed for listening to my presentation. And I'll be very happy now to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Liam. I think we have quite a few lined up for you already in the comments.
Okay, great. Sounds good.
Yeah. So,
Annie, sorry, shall I stop sharing my screen or shall I keep it on there, my email address and things?
Oh, I removed it already. So on the screen, just me and you on camera.
Okay. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, the first question is in regards to tuition fee. Can student request installment payment plan for tuition fee?
Okay, so good question. Thanks very much indeed for that one. What I would suggest is that we, well, first of all, yes, they can pay in installments if they want to. And that includes their deposits, and it also can include their remaining fees that they pay to the university. So how the application cycle works is that we do need to receive the 65% deposit before we can schedule their credibility interview with one of our staff in the office. So they can pay that in installments if they want to, okay? But we can't process the application further until we receive the 65%. And without the 65%, that will obviously delay the application. So let's say they're applying for the MBA for January intake. Until we've got that 65%, we can't schedule the interview. So if it takes a few weeks to receive that deposit, then perhaps they can't start until March or until another intake at the university. So the answer is yes, and if it can come from the same source, that would be useful, because if we have to offer them a refund, for example, they fail our interview or the visa is refused by the UKVI, then yes, we can offer them a refund. But if that deposits come from several different sources, £1,000 here, £2,000 here, £2,000 there, the refund process becomes quite complicated. So it's best if it comes from one source, one payment, or if it's 2 or 3 payments, again, from the same source. That would be the best policy or best practice, I guess. And then once they get here, once they are registered as a student, once they've paid us the 65%, obviously, they can pay the last 35% in installments. And they would arrange that with our finance team once they get here. So they will still get the £1,000 scholarship, but they will not get the extra £500 early bird discount, because that's only available for those that pay up front their 100% fees, or that pay the remaining fees straight away. If that comes over 3 or 4 months in the installment plan, they'll only get £1,000 scholarship. So yes, we can offer installments in the deposit stage and at registration stage, but yeah, there are some implications with that, and hopefully that's understood.
All right, thank you so much. I think that's very clear instruction for the installment plan.
Thank you, Anna.
Moving on to the next question. So how's we call it GTE, but it's basically the CAS assessment for the offshore student in Vietnam, the Philippines, and even some students from Myanmar?
Okay, right. So does this mean how we assess the applications or assess the qualifications?
Like after they submit the application, and what's the process like to get the CAS?
Okay, so yeah, let me just break it down into individual stages. Okay, so stage 1 is the online application. Okay, which I think you've received, Annie, or again, I can share it again. We do recommend online applications to the University of Bedfordshire. We do have an online application portal, which we use, and it's very simple to complete. So the agent or the counsellor would complete it with the students, send in all the documents with the applications. So that's usually a copy of their passport, copy of their qualifications. The English test, if they have it, if they haven't got the English test at the application stage, it doesn't matter, because the English will probably feature as a condition on the offer letter. Okay, and then it'll be a copy of their immigration history. So, for example, if they've been to the UK, which could be as a tourist, for example, they've been here as a tourist 2 years ago or something, we would look at that tourist visa and double check that everything is okay with their immigration record. Just for compliance purposes, we have a compliance team in the office that checks their immigration history, and they communicate with the UKVI. So we do all those checks. Once we're happy, we then issue the offer to the student. That's the first stage. Oh yes, and we also look at their gap in studies as well. Now, for undergraduate students, this applies to many countries, and it also includes Vietnam and the Philippines. It's a 4-year study gap, 4 years. So they have to have completed their high school qualifications or their foundation year within the last 4 years. So maybe in those 4 years they've had some work experience, or they've been, preparing their applications to the universities in the UK. For Bedfordshire, it's a 4-year gap in studies policy for undergraduate students. If it's postgraduates, it's actually 7 years. So we offer a 7-year gap for postgraduate applicants. So we offer more flexibility for those students, because we understand maybe they has more work experience, they're developing their career, and they're wishing now to do a postgraduate course to increase their knowledge, develop their skills for that said career, or maybe they want a change of career. So offer a 7-year study gap for those postgraduate applicants, which we screen, we look at before the offer letters are issued to the student and to the agent as well. Now, once we've read the offer letter with the student and they're happy to proceed further, okay, then they have to pay us the 65% deposit to the university. The bank details of the university are on the offer letter. So they make a bank transfer and then they send in their deposit receipt to the international deposits account. Again, that's on the offer letter as well. I think it's like 3 pages long, the offer letter, so it gives you that information, I think, on the second page. So they make the payment to the university. Once the payment's cleared after a few days, and once we receive the IELTS test result of the student, or a test or English test that we can accept, then we will then shortlist the student for an interview. Okay. Once they pass our interview, presumably they've done some good research, they're prepared very well, the agent has helped the student prepare for our interview, they pass our interview, and then we check their bank documents, their TB test, we check everything else, personal statements, references, before we issue the CAS. It takes roughly, I would say, between 4 to 6 weeks for the whole process. And it takes roughly up to 7 days to issue an offer in very busy periods. September intake, for example, very, very busy. January intake can be very busy as well. Other intakes in the year, perhaps less busy, so perhaps the offer might take sometimes even 24 hours to turn around. So it kind of depends really, but up to 7 working days is our kind of admissions policy for offer making for our international students. And then once the CAS has been issued, that's shared with you, and you then work with the student to book their flights, apply for their visa, and so on. Once the visa has been issued, then we would like to see a copy of the visa sent to us, which is the little vignette in the passport, and that goes to our pre-arrival account, and then we send a pre-arrival form out to the student for them to complete, so that they are being compliant with us. And then they come here, register, and then they start their course. And that's really the process.
Well, thank you so much. It's a very great in detail process, and all of our partners can imagine how it works now. So
indeed, absolutely,
you.
That's all right. And also, as I just also mentioned, the central admission service for the Philippines and for Vietnam, we actually have 2 admissions teams. So Team P is actually our admissions team for Vietnam. So that's for chasing applications, chasing documents or whatever, updates. They can email Team P at beds.ac.uk And then with the student ID number, which is generated once the online application has been submitted, and then we can look into the application, whatever. And then for the Philippines market, it's Team C at beds.ac.uk. We have those on our country pages as well, and they can obviously email me because I look after both countries, so they can come to me as well, and I can chase up our admissions team in case they're waiting for updates or whatever. So we're always here to support yourselves and the students.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to, we have quite a few questions here to
Yep.
line up. Let's move on to the next one. This is coming from the Philippines. So UK is processing application in the Philippines market. So if a Filipino with a bachelor degree is eligible to gain direct entry into postgraduate programs.
Okay, yeah, so thank you for that question. There is a list of around, I think there's about 5 universities in the Philippines that are prestigious or a centre of excellence. So there is about 5 on the list. And if they have got a degree with a GPA of a 2.5 or above from those 5 prestigious universities, I think one's called University of Diliman, Philippines, and there's a few others on the list. If they have a degree from any of those universities, then yes, with faculty approval, we should be able to offer them a place on those programs. So the answer is yes, but only for those 4 or 5 universities that are deemed prestigious. We do check the applications with UK NARIC as well, just to make sure they are at the right level. So if it's not from a prestigious university in the Philippines, then they will need something else like a pre-masters or something like that in order to progress. And if they want to do a pre-masters, they can email me directly, and I can get in contact with the students on a case-by-case basis. But yes, but only for those list of 5 prestigious universities in the Philippines.
Yeah, and JSP will share with you the list of those 5 as well, so you can check whether your student can get direct entry into Bedfordshire. So yeah, next question is the student has an expired IELTS of 6.0. Can student take placement English test?
That's a really good question. So yeah, the IELTS has a period of 2 years. I actually don't know. That's a great question. That's something that's we perhaps should be doing. I think it depends when the IELTS has expired. If it's literally just over 2 years, literally like a few days or something, there's a potential for flexibility, but that would need approval from my head of admissions. But it is usually a 2 years expiration. And from experience, we would not issue a CAS unless the IELTS is in date. We might be able to process the application and maybe even interview the students. But if it's clearly has expired by the time issuing a CAS, they would need a new IELTS. But we have done English tests in the past, so I can't really say yes or no really definitively. I can't really say yes or no because I don't really know the answer, but it's definitely food for thought. So that's actually, I'm going to make a note of that actually today and speak to someone and see what we could potentially do with those students, because we do have a language centre and they do offer pre-sessional courses as well. And that's something else to also mention is our pre-sessional programs. Quite popular with our Vietnamese students, perhaps less popular with the Philippine students, but definitely popular with Vietnam, students from Vietnam. We offer 2-week, 4-week, 8-week, 12-week pre-sessional courses, even longer, but from experience, not many do 15 or 24-week pre-sessionals. Most would to do 2, 4, or 8-week pre-sessionals. There are tuition fees to pay, so that's £500 for 2 weeks, £1,000 for 8 weeks. No, sorry, 4 weeks, and £2,000 for 8 weeks. So they have to pay that in full plus the 65% before they can start the pre-sessional course. And it has to be the UKVI academic IELTS to start a pre-sessional, because it'll be below the B2 level. So it has to be the UKVI approved academic IELTS. If it's a standard 6 with a 5.5, then yes, we can accept a general academic IELTS, not a problem. But UKVI academic for pre-sessional. But yeah, going back to the English test, I'll have to find out and get back to you. So leave that one with me, I think.
Yeah, we'll get back to you once we sort it out. Or my best advice is to send us the application. We'll send it to Liam, and then we can support you on this case especially.
That would be a good idea. Yeah, thank you, Annie. Yeah,
no problem. The next question is in regards to scholarships. You had shared in the beginning of the session that when the student make an application, they will be able to receive the £1,500. So the agent asks, what's the requirements of this scholarship, or is it automatically rewarded to the student?
Yeah, it's automatic, so it's guaranteed. So if we are issuing a student an offer letter, then that means they will be given a scholarship. As long as they meet the conditions, we issue the CAS, they register as a student, they will get the £1,000 scholarship. That's guaranteed, as long as they meet the conditions and they come here as a Bedfordshire student. So there's no separate application for our scholarship scheme. So just to give you an example of a deposit payment. So let's say they're coming here to do BA Business Administration top-up for January intake. The tuition fees are currently £12,900. If they want to receive the full £1,500 scholarship, then they have to pay in either £11,400 upfront. That's it. That's actually the net fees once we take off the scholarship. That's for the whole year. All right. Or they can pay us the 65% deposit, get their CAS, and then once we issue the CAS, if they pay the final 35% straight away, then we give them a £500, like a £500 refund on their account. So they will get £1,500 either way. Either they pay £11,400 up front, or they pay us the 65% minimum for the deposit, and then plus the 35% extra at registration. So they can do it either way, but there's no application for the scholarship. It's just awarded based on you coming here as a student, and then the other bit is based on an early bird discount for full payment.
Wow, that's very easy to remember. You don't need to remember any requirements.
There's no criteria. No, just make the application and that's it, pretty much.
Yeah. Next question is from the Philippines. How long is the turnaround time for an application to be assessed? When can we receive the offer letter?
Yeah, sure. So it's up to 7 working days in very busy periods. I say up to because it could be 24 hours, it might be 48 hours. Let's say we receive the application Friday afternoon, there might be a decision made by the following Tuesday, for example, as we don't work weekends. So it kind of depends really when we receive the application. If the best thing really is once the online application has been submitted and the ID number has been generated, if you can email me that ID number and copy in the admissions team. So for the Philippines, it would be Team C. If it's Vietnam, it'd be Team P. If you copy in the admissions team as well, I can discuss that with the admissions team straight away and get them to make the offer as soon as they can. So the turnaround time can always be quicker if I know about the application. If I don't know about the application, it will take admissions, maybe a couple of days to get through the applications because we do receive quite a lot during the year. So, if I know about it, I'm here to help and support you, then I can then fast track, if you like, the application through the admissions funnel. So it might take a day or a couple of days, but up to 7 working days in very busy periods. Okay.
Yeah, it's very a quick turnaround time actually. some university might take about 2 weeks at least.
Oh, 2 weeks. Oh no, that's far too long. Far too long. I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you for that question. And one last question from our audience in regards to foundation course, because obviously students from Vietnam who graduate high school,
Yes.
except if they do A-level program or IGCSE program, then they can get direct
Or the
entry.
IB, if they did the International
Yeah,
Baccalaureate. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Any foundation provider that you recommend to?
We do.
Yeah.
We do have our own foundation provider. So they work at the University of Bedfordshire International College, UBIC for short, UBIC. And they're called Holmes Education Group. So we have a partnership with Holmes Education Group, and they offer our foundation years for our international students coming here to do a business course, computing or engineering. So we've got a full list of undergraduate programs available for our foundation year students. So they'll be issued a 4-year CAS, essentially. There'll be obviously there'll be
a combined CAS.
Yes. It should be. From what I know, it is a combined CAS because they work with the University of Bedfordshire. So we issued the student a 4-year CAS. So it'll be the course plus. So it'll be like business studies general with foundation year, or whatever. So yeah, range of programs available with foundation. They complete the year 12. They apply to Bedfordshire. And then they can come and study a foundation year with us. We even offer foundation years for students from Vietnam or the Philippines that have studied in the UK. So I know we had a student last year who came through Holmes Education Group, and he did his AS levels in the UK. And we were even able to exempt the IELTS because he studied in the UK as well.
Yeah.
So that was from one of our agents who we work with at the university. So that's a good success story, There are more fees involved. Obviously, it comes at a cost, but they can progress to our foundation year.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Also, because we're talking about pathway provider, and so what about the pre-master program?
Yeah, that's something that we're having discussions about, actually. So I'll be able to provide more details on that in due course. So, I'm just going to make a note of our pre-masters, and I can come back to you with that one. Yeah.
All right. Wow, that's great. Yeah, that's all the questions for today, and we're just right on time.
Okay.
Thank you so much for a lot of very useful information. I think this session is really giving our partners more confidence in promoting and sending students to University of Bedfordshire. And in case after this session, if we have any more questions for you, we'll send directly to you. And the presentation of today, we will share with our partners as well. I think to end this session on a great note, we have a videos for you from, it's like a testimonial of the student that have studied at Bedfordshire, and these students are from Vietnam.
They are.
So let me share with you guys.
Yes, I expect so anyway.
Right, we are here. Yep.
Currently, I'm studying at Bachelor of Art or Honor degree in marketing.
My name is Han Pham. I'm doing Bachelor of Business Study in Finance. It's Asian people good with number, right?
Hi, my name is Ha Hong Tu Anh, and now I'm studying in Business Studies in Marketing.
But for me, it's just the convenience, and like it fits with the course the pathway I'm trying to choose for my life. And later on, of course, it's in Britain, one of the best countries in the world to go for education.
When I went to the FPU, which is Foreign Trade University, I met a person in the international faculty, and he introduced me to Bedfordshire University, and I was like, wow, it's gonna be my place. I want to go there.
It's a mixed program between the Foreign Trade University and University University of Bedfordshire, and this is my final years, and I wanna, like to have more adventures.
At the moment, of course, doing finance, so there's a corporate finance class, strategy and creativity, like a future was very helpful. It's like help you to prepare for your future career. Like how to write a CV, how to show, how to show an interview, how to make yourself look like you worthy for people to employ you.
I'm studying a lot of subjects in my course, like strategy and creativity, dissertation, and my main course subject is topical marketing.
I'm currently doing a bit of an insight about how social media, and especially the user-generated contents within social media, affect brand image within luxury retail section.
Actually, it's my first experience in the broad country. Like, it's kind of nervous as a first start, but the lecturer and everyone here is it's like really caring, So it's been pretty great.
Everyone is very helpful. It's like honorable tutor, they really care.
Everything is fantastic. From the lecturer, they are really amazing. They are ready and dynamic to help students when they need help or they have the issue with assignment.
It's amazing. Both in academia and off school as well. It's absolutely amazing, the staff here.
The lady at dissertation door, that was so nice. She was so nice. She called me darling and love. It never happened anywhere else. So at that first time I went to the university, I was like, wow, I think my life here would be nice.
Wow, that's a great video. I think the students said it all. We don't need to say anymore.
No, that's right. You heard it from the students themselves. Yeah, they're the best people to talk about the university.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for today, Liam, and thank you, our audience, for joining us today and asking a lot of really useful questions. And we're all taking notes, and we will get back to you soon with a lot of useful answer that helps you to consult your student. And yeah, thank you very much. Have a great day, Liam, and have a lovely evening, our partners from Vietnam and the Philippines. And we'll see you very soon in the next session.
See you soon. Take care, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.